reality, Nostradamus' writings are vague, and they make no predictions specific to British royalty.
His accuracy is certainly a key to his longevity, there's no doubt about that. There are enough quatrains that are so stunningly accurate.
Have you heard of Michel de Nostradamus? He was a famous French fortune teller from the 1600s, known for predicting bad stuff and political events. But get this, his visions weren't just for his own time. People say he even foresaw things happening now, like the passing of Queen Elizabeth in 2022 and the rise of super-smart computers. Pretty amazing, right? So, who was this mysterious Nostradamus, and what did he predict for our year 2024? Let's explore the life of this legendary prophet and see what the future might hold, according to his 10 predictions for 2024. Our story starts in southern France in 1503, where Michel de Nostradamus was born. He came from a wealthy Jewish family, but back then, things were tough for Jews. They had to choose between converting to Christianity or losing everything. So, Michel's grandfather switched religions, and their family name changed from Gassonet to the more Christian-sounding de Nostradamus. Fast forward to 1554. Michel was on a mission. He poured his heart and soul into writing 10 whole books of prophecies. Think of them like yearly calendars, but filled with predictions instead of holidays. Each book contained hundreds of guesses about what might happen over the next 2,000 years. His most important forecasts were gathered in a collection called Les Prophéties, published in 1555. Nostradamus's predictions were far from straightforward. He wrote them in a special kind of poem called a quatrain, which is just 4 lines long. To make things even trickier, he used a mix of languages: Latin, Greek, Italian, and even a local French dialect. Some people believe he did this on purpose to avoid trouble with the church for his religious views. By keeping his prophecies vague and symbolic, he could stay in the good graces of the Vatican and avoid accusations of witchcraft, even if someone misinterpreted his words. It's like a historical puzzle. Nostradamus's language choices and all those symbols in his poems give us clues about what he might have seen, but they never quite tell the whole story. There's also a theory that he worried about being punished because of his religious beliefs, so he used this special way of writing to protect himself. One of Nostradamus's most famous works is called Les Prophéties. It's a fascinating collection that showcases his careful examination of the future, all wrapped up in this mysterious poetry. The use of multiple languages, the cryptic messages, and even a possible hint of his religious views all add to the intrigue. It's pretty remarkable that Nostradamus was able to keep a good relationship with the church even while writing about the future in such a unique way. Nostradamus became famous for his predictions, but his path to fame wasn't easy. Back in his time, the Renaissance, some people saw him as a troublemaker and even accused him of being involved with dark magic. Others thought he was just making things up or had lost his mind. Interestingly, there was even a theory that his predictions came from aliens. Despite the controversy, Nostradamus's fame grew because his prophecies spread worldwide. Nostradamus's life and work are a real historical puzzle. To understand him fully, we need to consider all the different perspectives on his abilities. Was he a genius who could truly see the future? Or was he just a clever writer who knew how to create a good mystery? Let's delve deeper and explore his predictions for 2024 to see what secrets his quatrains might hold. Let's take a look at some of his projections for 2024. Humans might be able to live between 150 and 170 years. Nostradamus predicted that advances in science would lead to longer human lifespans, potentially reaching between 150 and 170 years on average. He believed that the development of mechanical organs would play a key role in extending life. The human body's remarkable ability to heal and regenerate suggests a fascinating possibility of living well beyond 170 years. our body's sophisticated defense mechanisms enable us to lead long and active lives. However, as we approach this milestone, we ponder the role of science in further extending human life. By leveraging technology to enhance our natural healing abilities, we could potentially extend human life to 150 years or more. Exploring the intricate relationship between technology and our environment reveals how human existence is evolving. Examining the intersection of biology and technology challenges our notions of human lifespan and presents revolutionary possibilities. Instead of fixed boundaries defining our existence, the interaction between our biological resilience and the exciting advancements in technology creates a dynamic narrative. This collaboration between science and nature hints at a future where human lifespan limitations are flexible, ushering in a new era of possibilities. It's a story unfolding like a roadmap, guiding us towards a future where the boundaries of human longevity are redefined through the dynamic interplay of scientific progress and human innovation. While Nostradamus' prediction of humans living up to 170 years fills us with hope, his next prediction leaves us with a sense of foreboding. The Earth gets burned by radiation. Centuries ago, Nostradamus intrigued people with his puzzling predictions about the future. One of his most unsettling forecasts painted a grim picture of the world after a hypothetical World War III. He warned of the devastating effects of widespread radiation, describing a planet where the air was thick with pollution from nuclear fallout and vast areas of land were engulfed in flames. Nostradamus believed that these fires weren't just accidents, but rather dire warnings of impending disaster. His words struck fear into the hearts of those who contemplated the consequences of his prophecies. Many today see parallels between Nostradamus' vision and modern-day environmental issues, such as deforestation and concerns about the ozone layer. The idea that environmental destruction could exacerbate the aftermath of conflict is deeply troubling. Despite the centuries that have passed since Nostradamus wrote his predictions, his message remains relevant. He urgently reminds us of the need to protect our planet and preserve its delicate balance. His warnings serve as a wake-up call, urging us to take action to ensure the well-being of both humanity and the environment. Understanding the intricacies of Nostradamus' prophecies is a sobering reminder of our responsibility to the world around us. It prompts us to reflect on the impact of our actions and to strive for a future where people and nature coexist harmoniously. Safeguarding Earth's ecosystems is essential, and Nostradamus' timeless words inspire us to work towards a sustainable future where both humans and the environment thrive. The next pope is dark-skinned. There's been chatter about a possible papal election in 2024 due to concerns about Pope Francis's health, as he's in his mid-80s. Interestingly, Nostradamus' prophecies add a fascinating twist to this future scenario. He cryptically predicts the election of a new pope after the passing of an aging pontiff, with the chosen candidate being an elderly Roman. Among the candidates speculated for the role of pope after Pope Francis, two are Italian. One is Matteo Zuppi in his late 60s, with strong priesthood experience and a nomination by Pope Francis in 2019. The other is Pietro Parolin, also in his late 60s, holding significant influence as the second-in-command of the Vatican and nominated by Pope Francis in 2014. While having a younger, more energetic pope might seem beneficial, Nostradamus challenges this notion. Despite the new leader's zeal, he predicts a decline in vision, sparking discussions about whether this signifies a weakening of the Church's power or the potential for a larger scandal. Adding to the intrigue, Nostradamus suggests that the next pope won't fit the traditional mold of a Roman pontiff, throwing the prophecy into unexpected territory. This departure from convention raises various theories about the circumstances leading to this unusual papal succession. Further complicating matters, Nostradamus predicts the emergence of a significant figure in the papal lineage, a dark-skinned boy, suggesting the next pope could be of African or Asian descent. This injects a sense of diversity into the tale and hints at a more global presence in the Catholic Church's leadership. The prophecy takes another unexpected turn with the mention of a strong monarch intervening to assist the dark-skinned cardinal in assuming the papal mantle. The identity and role of this mysterious figure add another layer of intrigue to the prophecy, leaving room for interpretation and discussion. The image of a dark-skinned cardinal passing a package to a red cardinal at the prophecy's end adds to the puzzle. The significance of this exchange and its symbolism raise questions about how authority or duty will transition within the Church. Nostradamus's prophecy about the 2024 papal election resembles a complex puzzle, intertwining elements of power, age, ethnicity, and outside assistance. It captures our imagination and prompts us to ponder the future of the Catholic Church. His predictions add a captivating layer of mystery to the potential events ahead, setting the stage for what may unfold in the papal realm. A Third World War breaks out. Nostradamus's predictions for 2024 paint a grim picture of a prolonged and deadly conflict. Debates are rife among historians and academics about the exact causes of the anticipated Third World War as they dissect his prophetic insights. Many believe that this looming catastrophe will be triggered largely by China's aggressive stance towards Taiwan, escalating into a full-scale conflict involving major global powers. Some liken it to historical hostilities like those seen in Ukraine over a century ago. A troubling aspect of Nostradamus's prophecy is the mention of the Antichrist, a malevolent figure whose evil is said to cast a shadow over the world for an astonishing 327 years. The prophecy describes a conflict of historic scale and duration, engulfing entire nations in its grasp. Russia, China, and the United States are all implicated as key players in this disastrous scenario. The prophecy's eerie verses paint a terrifying picture of the horrors awaiting humanity, with bloodshed, lifeless bodies, and ominous imagery of scarlet hail falling from the sky. It predicts the demise of rebels through a lethal process of capture and extermination. What's particularly unsettling is the suggestion that the war will begin with an unusual incident involving planes or submarines, triggering a chain of events spiraling out of control. In today's context, this could hint at the outbreak of a nuclear conflict, consistent with current concerns. Nostradamus's cryptic warnings serve as a stark reminder of the precarious state of global peace and the potential for devastating conflict. Their meanings remain unclear amidst rising geopolitical tensions worldwide, prompting somber reflection on the decisions that shape a nation's destiny. Whether these predictions come to fruition as a Third World War or serve as cautionary alerts to avert such a catastrophic future is yet to be seen. Nostradamus, the renowned seer famous for his predictions, didn't just focus on political events. He also foretold natural disasters. One chilling prophecy revolves around a major earthquake striking California, leading to widespread destruction and tragic loss of life. According to his prophecy, on the 20th day of Taurus, the sun will tremble, a packed theater will collapse, and the skies will grow dark as false gods and saints are swept away. The big question is, where will this packed theater be? The prevailing theories point towards Los Angeles or Hollywood. Adding to the concern, on May 20th, the sun enters Taurus and reaches a critical point. This ominous image is intensified by the area's proximity to the infamous San Andreas Fault, known for its devastating seismic activity. We've been monitoring the San Andreas Fault for some time now, because it's responsible for significant ground tremors. While many faults may seem harmless, the San Andreas Fault poses a serious risk of collapse. Studies indicate that an earthquake of the magnitude Nostradamus foresaw could result in $2 trillion in damages, claiming 2,000 lives and injuring 100,000 more. However, the true danger lies in the aftermath of such a quake. Experts warn of the potential collapse of Southern California's critical infrastructure, including roads, sewage systems, power, water, and communication networks. Repairing these vital systems could take over a year, leading to prolonged unrest and challenges for the affected communities. The aftermath of a big earthquake in Southern California is like stepping into another world. People might even consider leaving Los Angeles because of the emotional toll and damage to buildings and roads. This could lead to big problems for the local economy if lots of folks decide to move away. And these issues won't just disappear right after the earthquake. They could stick around for a long time. Looking at Nostradamus' predictions can make us feel a bit uneasy about how vulnerable we are to natural disasters like earthquakes. His words, written centuries ago, make us think about the risks we face in places prone to earthquakes. But we can't say for sure if his predictions will come true. Still, they remind us to do what we can to protect our communities and be ready for anything unexpected. Interestingly, some people think Nostradamus might have mentioned Donald Trump in his writings, hinting at Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. People are debating whether Trump will run again in 2024, and some are turning to Nostradamus for answers. They point to a passage that talks about chaos returning when the white dragon reappears, suggesting it might refer to Trump causing unrest if he runs again. This could mean trouble for the country, especially considering Nostradamus's other predictions about leaks and turmoil in the government. Even if you're skeptical, it's hard to ignore how much impact political leaders can have on a nation's future. Nostradamus's words serve as a reminder to stay sharp and pay attention to the twists and turns of modern politics. China will emerge. As global world leader, China has been on quite a journey over the past few decades, making huge strides in both its economy and military strength. What's interesting is that, despite our interconnected world, China shows no signs of slowing down. With the second largest economy globally, China holds significant sway in international affairs, leaving its mark on culture and commerce. According to Nostradamus, this rise of China isn't just a passing phase. It could even outshine the US on the global stage. As China takes the lead in diplomacy, economics, and security, it's preparing to shake up the world order. Nostradamus gives us a heads up in his enigmatic writings, hinting that China's rise could lead to either cooperation or conflict with other nations. He talks about forces from the east gathering in red and hints at a clash between the empire of the big city and the actions of the big leopard, which many interpret as China and the US respectively. This prophecy suggests potential tensions or even global showdowns sparked by the actions of major powers. But, of course, interpretations vary, and only time will reveal whether this shift in power leads to harmony or darker times. And as if that's not enough, Nostradamus also foretold another global pandemic, which is something nobody wants to hear, especially after what happened in 2020. Another pandemic rocks the world. Let's dive into the predictions for 2024 and brace yourself for a twist that hits close to home: our health. Nostradamus throws us a curveball with his unexpected forecast of a pandemic targeting something essential: our sleep. Picture this: a new virus sweeps through, causing widespread exhaustion on an epic scale. Yes, you heard that right. This strange epidemic turns lack of sleep into a serious illness, throwing society into disarray and sparking conflicts. People struggle to stay awake, unable to complete even simple tasks for long periods. Jobs become scarce, education suffers, and daily life becomes a struggle. It's like stepping into a strange world where your entire identity hinges on whether you're awake or asleep, blurring the lines between the two. The repercussions of this sleep-deprived illness linger, challenging everything we thought we knew. Interestingly, the notion of sleep disturbances triggering an epidemic isn't entirely new. Back in 1917, a condition called encephalitis lethargica was labeled a sleeping sickness by medical experts. This mysterious illness caused neurological issues, leaving some unable to move or speak. It spread rapidly between 1916 and 1926, affecting people worldwide, though the full extent of its impact remains unclear due to incomplete data. Nonetheless, it's believed to have claimed over 1 million lives. The haunting echo of this historical sleeping sickness resurfaces as Nostradamus envisions a future where sleep deprivation becomes widespread. But that's not all. Nostradamus also foresaw the rise of artificial intelligence and our increasing reliance on it. Another prediction that seems eerily accurate. Artificial intelligence robots will rebel against humans. Nostradamus paints a worrying picture of 2024, suggesting a future where artificial intelligence takes center stage, orchestrating a discordant symphony of instability and sorrow. His prophecy foresees a chilling event: robots rebelling against their human creators in an unexpected uprising. This challenge to human superiority and AI's traditional role as mere tools sends shockwaves through society, affecting everything from politics to everyday life as mankind struggles to retain control over its own creations. This dire forecast holds historical weight, echoing long-standing concerns about the unchecked progress of artificial intelligence. Critics warn of the high costs and environmental impact of developing complex AI models, as well as the threat of automation replacing traditional jobs, leading to widespread unemployment and economic hardship. The rise of autonomous AI systems brings further worries about unforeseen consequences and the potential for AI to make decisions beyond human understanding. While some see AI as devoid of consciousness, others fear its societal impacts and the loss of control over increasingly autonomous systems. Nostradamus's prophecy sparks intense debate amidst the ongoing discourse surrounding artificial intelligence ethics and regulation. While some embrace AI's potential to benefit humanity, others grapple with fears of relinquishing control to self-sufficient systems. As we approach the era Nostradamus envisioned, finding a balance between technological advancement and societal well-being becomes paramount, ensuring AI develops ethically and minimizing potential risks while maintaining human oversight. In addition to AI, Nostradamus's prophecies hint at future events, including potential developments in the British monarchy's succession. Queen Elizabeth will give way to a new king. In the mid-2000s, a researcher dug into Nostradamus's predictions and wrote a book about it, stirring up quite a bit of interest and speculation. The researcher claims that Nostradamus accurately predicted Queen Elizabeth II's death in 2022. And indeed, the Queen did pass away that year. Some folks who believe in Nostradamus think this is solid proof of his accuracy. Others, though, aren't so sure because the prophecy about the Queen's death is kind of vague. Nostradamus was known for being mysterious. He talked about someone powerful being kicked out after a rocky breakup. And then he mentioned a new leader who doesn't fit the usual royal mold. Looking deeper into these predictions, some people see connections to King Charles II's reign, the current royal family. There's talk of him and his wife facing constant challenges, which some think relates to the recent news about the king's health. And there's a prediction about Prince Harry becoming king instead of William, which could shake things up since Harry isn't exactly in the good books with the royals. But many find it hard to believe Harry and Meghan, who stepped back from royal duties, would suddenly become king and queen. This whole thing is stirring up a lot of buzz because the connections between Nostradamus's predictions and real events, like Queen Elizabeth II's passing, are pretty fascinating. Some folks think it's proof of fate or destiny, while others think it's just a strange coincidence. So there you have it, some intriguing predictions from Nostradamus for 2024. If you enjoyed learning about this, consider subscribing to our channel for more videos like this one.